Hey, BillO'Reilly.com premium members, welcome to a special edition of the No Spin News. While I'm off over the holidays, we have put together some compilations of things that I've done in 2019 and beyond. And one of them, we're editing some of my radio interviews. Now, you may know that I do what they call residencies with Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Bernie and Sid on WABC radio in New York City, and Mark Simone on WOR radio in New York City. So I do these every week, and it's good for me to be able to be interviewed instead of interview. And they've worked really, really well. I think everybody enjoys it. Everybody who likes me. If you don't like me, you won't enjoy it. And so today, we're going to string some of these interviews together. And we hope you like it. Let us hear about what you think. We'll post it on the site so you can spread the word to other premium members and concierge members. It's there. And I hope you're enjoying the season. Roll the tape.
It's now reached critical mass where I believe the majority of Americans don't trust the media at all. And the media is not coming back when Trump leaves, by the way.
Bill, it's
irrevocable.
It's a spectacular level of hypocrisy that you got all the evidence. Zero experience, Hunter.
It's more than hypocrisy. It's your job is to find the truth, journalists, but you don't care about the truth if it hinders the leftist agenda. So it's all about promoting the leftist agenda. And you see it across the board, which is why people watch you who aren't leftists on television in great numbers and listen to your radio program because they know, and they would like to have the other point of view, which they're never going to get in the mainstream media. But Trump is really, really furious about this, and he can't do anything about it, and that adds to his frustration. He can out them and call them fake news and mock them at rallies, but he can't change it, and that drives him crazy because he usually gets what he wants.
Does this, in the end, two questions, does this help him? And do you agree with me that Donald Trump has forever tattooed into the foreheads of this mob in the media the branding of fake news?
I believe that CNN will collapse when Trump leaves the White House. So that might answer your latter question. I believe that the New York Times and the Washington
I think
Post,
I may collapse, too, because I'm working my ass off. But go ahead.
Well, you need a vacation. I'll sit in for you, by the way, if you want.
I'm fine with
that. Think that'll get a few headlines? Anyway, the pith of it, to keep it pithy, is the media is never going to be respected in America again because of Donald Trump. And that'll be part of Trump's legacy. He brought down the media, even if he didn't do it actively, he did it passively.
Let me ask you this. I didn't answer the second part of the question. Do you think this, because I believe everything they're doing is helping to reelect him.
Okay. It's too difficult to say. The easy answer is, oh, yes. But I'm not going to do that because I don't know who he's going to run against. I know this. If Joe Biden gets the nomination, every day of Joe Biden's life, he will hear the words Hunter Biden, because Trump will make it the signature anti-Biden diatribe. Trump will kill him on that. Democrats know it. But who else are they going to go to?
Well,
Buttigieg got killed today.
I'll tell you what I think. Oh, he got killed today. But look, I'll tell you the answer. I think if you look at Axelrod supporting and backing Deval Patrick,
he can't get it, though. They don't know him. Okay, so it's too late for Deval Patrick to get in. I know that the Obama people want him in, and I know that. But maybe if there's some surge in South Carolina, maybe. But you know how much money it's going to take to get Deval Patrick known in front of the American public? Nobody knows him. So he's not Barack Obama, who is a fantastic campaigner. Deval Patrick's not that. So to me, it's a default situation. You know, we're voting. Americans are voting in less than 2 months. We start the process, and nobody knows Deval Patrick. Same thing with Bloomberg. Bloomberg can buy it.
You see, I think it helps Trump, but where you're rightly cautious, and look, Bill, we are now 343 days away from Election Day. What you're saying is, and I never make predictions about elections. I just see if somebody is in the position to win, and I saw Trump was in the position to win. And look, I went out on a limb, and I told my conservative friends he's really a conservative. But the problem for any Republican is you start without New York, California, New Jersey, Illinois. So to win, you got to thread the needle and take North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, obviously. Then you got to pick off Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, maybe New Hampshire, maybe Nevada, Arizona. It's not easy for any Republican.
No, but if the trend, and I don't believe the polls, I think they're push polls. I don't believe them. But as we saw today, African Americans starting to come around.
Stay right there. The polls are huge. I want to pick up on that when we get back with Bill O'Reilly. His interview with President Trump will be on BillO'Reilly.com. Unlike all of you, I just got a free membership for Christmas. Maybe Bill will give one out before the end of the program today, and we'll be glad to pass it on to one of our lucky listeners. All right, as we continue, Bill O'Reilly is with us. He had an exclusive interview with President Trump. So, okay, the polls, you're right, are changing. Nobody can predict. I think it's too early to really even be paying attention to a lot of them, but you do see a pattern that African Americans are moving towards them because I believe record low unemployment, one record after another. Here's my question. So you have this interview. How long was it, and what other news did you break?
40 minutes. It's fairly intense about Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
I asked him why he was in Ukraine at the president's behest. That's a question that I think people will want to hear his answer on. I asked him about why the China deal isn't done.
Okay.
I asked him whether he's going to designate Mexican drug cartels as terrorist groups and then attack them with drones.
Good question. What did he say?
I asked him a wide variety of things.
By the way, I'm going to ask him what's the answer, and he's going to go, get your premium membership at BillO'Reilly.com.
I want to look.
By the way, I want people to see it and listen to it.
Yeah, in a couple of days it'll go wide, but premium membership is very beneficial to you. So on BillO'Reilly.com, and now that you have a free one, you'll be able to get a lot of good information. But the other thing I did in the interview was I made it a little personal. I said, you're taking more attack and vitriol than any other president, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln. And I said, I've seen you show emotion to me when I had never seen that before in 30 years. His answer to that is really interesting because I do believe it's taken its toll on President Trump. But if you read the United States of Trump, this statement that I wrote in that book remains true. I have never seen a human being able to absorb more punishment than Donald Trump.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you and I, we can identify because we've been attacked for more than 20 years. Each of us has.
24 to be exact. By the way, I keep offering you, go back on Fox. And
what do I want to do that?
No, you can
have security guards go with me everywhere?
No, so that you take the number one slot. I can tell you it's easier being number two because we'll end the year again number one in all cable. And with that comes all the crap associated with it.
You bet. But your listeners should understand there is a price to pay for being a traditional conservative American in this country.
I refuse, and you're right. Nobody has absorbed more crap than this guy and has the strength to take it.
Okay. So I come at this from a whole different standpoint, which I think your audience will be interested to hear. On BillO'Reilly.com, my analysis is that if President Trump were removed from office by the Senate after the articles of impeachment are advanced there by the House, then every president in the future will be removed because every president in the past has committed, quote unquote, abuses of power. And then I run down the list. So let's start with George Washington. So George Washington's in office, and the founding fathers said, hey, George, you're our first president, but we don't want you to use troops to enforce the law on American soil because we fear if a president does that, there'll be a military takeover. What does George Washington do? Puts the Whiskey Rebellion, Hannity. I know you know about that.
I know all about the Whiskey Rebellion. Yes, I do.
Down with federal troops, which he leads. Mm-hmm. Abuse of power. Abraham Lincoln, our greatest president, suspends habeas corpus. That means that Union troops are able to break into homes in the North and occupied South, drag you out, put you in a prison of war camp without any charges, without anything. Easy abuse of power, right? You want to go modern? How about Vietnam? JFK, Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon committed hundreds of thousands of American troops to a war that Congress never certified, which is included in the Constitution. Congress has to vote on war. How about Barack Obama? Barack Obama went on television and said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, because he wanted Obamacare to pass, which it did. Is that not an abuse of power? I don't know whether he lied on purpose, but he certainly lied and misled the nation. How about George W. Bush? He goes into Iraq, no congressional vote, all right, overthrows the leader of Iraq, Saddam Hussein. So my point, and I think it's a good one, is that every single president of the United States could have been charged with abuse of power and removed if that is the standard now.
For a simple man, that is a very coherent, smart observation, and I couldn't agree more with you.
Here's something interesting. Glenn Beck launched realestateagentsitrust.com for a very simple reason, to help you sell your home quickly and for top dollar. Selling or buying a home is very complicated and difficult to navigate, so they chose agents with a long track record of success. Market value for your home cannot be done by calculation. It just can't. It takes years of expertise to evaluate your market, to price your home, and to sell quickly for top dollar. Home sellers must genuinely like the agent they choose to trust their home to, and that's why Beck and his team select agents that are fans of his, like you are. So get moving with realestateagentsitrust.com. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Yesterday, the impeachment hearings, I think the Democrats suffered a big blow because of the three unlikable witnesses that they had. They were dripping with bitterness and bias.
Sure.
And the one the Trump guy, he's a Democrat, actually. I thought he hit it out of the park.
You know, I had it on in the house because I have studio now in my house, radio and TV. And the testimony frightened the dog. The dog, Holly the terror dog, 3 million Twitter followers, by the way, if you can believe it.
Wow.
So Holly was howling during the testimony. I'm looking at the dog, and Holly was looking at me going, can you turn this off? So it was a setup, but I don't understand. I really don't understand how the Democratic Party can believe this helps them. So, we have two parties, and we should have two vibrant parties. That's a good thing for the country. But you have a setup. This is a setup. So this is like when Sid was in high school, and they caught him smoking in the boys' room. That was a song based on Sid, smoking in the boys' room. All right, and then they bring Sid in and says, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It was somebody who looked like me, somebody who was bald and somebody who was loud, but it wasn't me. All right? And then the principal brings in three people who hate Sid, hate him from age 2. And they sit down and go, it was Sid. And they go, were you even in the boys' room? No. Okay. So that's what it was. It was a setup. So they bring in three lawyers who teach at law schools, prestigious schools, who despise President Trump.
Yes.
All right?
Clearly, yes.
Yeah, and then one guy who doesn't like him but says, well, I didn't do anything. Jonathan Turley, he still has to go to the cocktail parties in D.C. where he lives. He still has to deal with the faculty, so he's not going to go, I really feel bad for Trump, and I think he's getting a raw deal, and I kind of like him. He's never going to do that. He go, I don't really like him, but there isn't anything.
You got a virtue signal first.
Yeah. So who is buying this? Is anybody in the country buying this? Even the people who hate Trump go, oh, they hate Trump. So how does that help the Democratic Party? And Nadler sits there. And does Nadler not look like Humpty Dumpty?
Oh, my God.
He really does.
I mean, really. And I know Nadler for years, and I would never disparage him by calling him Humpty. I wouldn't do that.
No.
He's a communist.
And I wouldn't call him a slob either.
But he looks like him.
Yeah.
He does.
And he fell asleep yesterday as well.
I think he did. Now, you asked the question, how does this help the Democrats?
Yeah.
I think the other question is, how does it hurt them? I mean, do you really feel like in your heart of hearts?
No, look, there are a lot of people in the country who don't pay attention to the news.
Right.
All right? And it's growing. That number's growing because they're addicted to their machines. They've got the machine in their hands. and it's changed their whole lifestyles. They might have gone to a movie or they might have read a book in the past. They don't do that now. Play the games. They do whatever they do on their machine. So those people still, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe, want a fair country, even though their attention is diverted elsewhere and they're apathetic about paying attention to what's happening day by day. They want a fair country. This is so unfair. So you're actually making Donald Trump look sympathetic. I mean, I didn't think that was possible to make this man, and I'm saying that because Trump is so larger than life, and he's so bombastic, and he's so wealthy. It's hard to make him, look sympathetic. But in this case, particularly with women voters who aren't fanatical anti-Trumpers, who may be independents and they don't really know, they're going, this is a setup. This is not the country we should be. That's going to help Trump next year.
And you touched on this during your interview with President Trump, which said was fantastic, and it was. I mean, the way the president is being persecuted, generally speaking, for the last 3 years, and then they throw in the criticism of Melania Trump and this witch bringing up Barron Trump yesterday. To your point, Bill, it makes them all sympathetic, and it backfires on them.
So, Bill.
Yo.
Did you see the video of Joe Biden just eviscerating this guy in one of his, no malarkey stops?
Tour. Yeah.
Did you see it? What are your thoughts?
I don't see it the same way that everybody else sees it because I know that Biden loves his son. And I know that he lost the other son, Beau.
Yep.
And his emotions are overriding everything now.
Yes.
All right. So
that's exactly what I said last hour, Bill. Thank you for listening.
No, I didn't steal it from you.
No, you did. Hey, and
no, I didn't.
I'll
I
just
didn't
let
hear
you know.
it, but,
steal from me, you've stolen twice. But here's the thing on that. I 100% agree with you.
Okay.
That Hunter is a child that has been a troubled child for a very, very long time, and as a dad, I think Joe Biden is, in his own mind, thinks he's doing what's right for Hunter in helping him and getting him all of these gigs and everything else. I think he thinks he's helping him when, in my opinion only, I think he's helping destroy him. But if you as a dad have had this troubled kid and you've already lost your wife, then you lost your son, and then you have this son who is always on the edge, I would be extraordinarily protective as well.
I don't think it's so much that he's thinking at all. I think he's just reacting. So, he's running for president. Does he really have his heart in it? I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, but he's certainly not campaigning effectively. He's not. And nobody can argue with that. So that's number one. And number two, he's got this kid who every time he turns around is embarrassing him and his family. And he doesn't know what to do with the kid. So
and he loves
it's
him.
Raw. It's like a raw emotion.
Yeah.
But what is he this is the thing. Look, if you're going to put yourself on a bus and zoop around a state and say no malarkey and then take Q&A, what do you think is going to happen? So he should have been prepared for this kind of question. And he was not.
at least from people who are over 90 that understand the term malarkey.
Right, I know.
That's something
that brilliant marketing team.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to be drinking sarsaparilla with Joe next.
And talking no malarkey. I tell you that right now.
Let's get a little sarsaparilla over here for Joe and his.
Crazy.
Okay, so the point is that he's running for president. That's Holly the Terror Dog, by the way. He's running for president, and he's not prepared for this?
If you are over the age of 50, I have an important message for you. There's a true alternative to AARP, the liberal retirement group that lobbies in favor of progressive policies. For less than $20 a year, an AMAC membership gives you members-only pricing on car insurance, roadside assistance, discounts on hotels and travel, cell phone plans, discount dental plans, and on and on and on and on. So please join more than 1 million fellow Americans right now at amac.us. That's amac.us. And yes, I am a member. Visit amac.us, amac.us.
Yeah, let's take it down to my level, which is way below yours in a sense.
All right, O'Reilly
Let's
plays
take
this.
it
I'm a
down
simple
to-
man. You're a complicated guy. Go ahead.
Let's take it down to, for your audience's amusement today, to who had a bad day today. All right, this is Bill O'Reilly's bad day assessment. Ready?
Jim Comey, go.
All right, first, Comcast, NBC. They had a very bad day because they are no longer in the news business. MSNBC did not take the opening statement of the Senate hearing and did not take the Q&A, all right, with Lindsey Graham, the chairman. But as soon as the Democrat came on, the minority ranking member, Dianne Feinstein, all of a sudden NBC took it. So they're out of the news business. It's a bad day for them. CNN didn't take any of the opening testimony and waited until Horowitz got on the Q&A with Lindsey Graham. I wouldn't say it's a bad day because every day is a bad day for CNN. They never have a good day.
Bill, did you see the article? This is their lowest rating month last month in 3 years.
I think I wrote that article. I think that no, I didn't, but I did see it. All right, other bad days today. The FBI in general, and I know FBI agents as you do, and they're just embarrassed because no fair-minded or intelligent person believes that an agency could make 17 major mistakes in an investigation as serious as this one, second only to 9/11 in the last 20 years. No one believes that. So there had to be, from the top down, Comey and McCabe, there had to be the implicit order, didn't have to be explicit, but implicit order. We want to get Trump. I want to get his campaign. We don't like him. We don't think he's good for the country. So go get him. And that happens all the time in agencies. It happens all the time in law enforcement agencies. Get this drug dealer. Get this horrible person who's disrupting the neighborhood. Just do it legally. But they didn't do it legally, did they? So Horowitz outlines at least 5 felonies. So I would be shocked if James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, those 4, are not indicted next spring on felony charges.